So setting up a social media strategy.
Oh, I can remember it.
Okay. So a social media strategy is a document outlining your social media goals, the tactics you will use to achieve them, and the metrics you would track to measure your progress. And I talked about how to set up a social media strategy. I said number one, you need to choose goals that align with your business objectives. Secondly, you need to establish the key metrics to track. So we talked about your key performance indicators. What are the things that mean success to you on social media? Because what might be success to me might not be success to you. So it's something you need to establish. Then I talked about researching your target audience, know your key competitors, and I think you asked. Now I remember you asked a question, why it's important to know your competitors, right?
Yes, yes.
Great. All right. So that means we've passed here. Okay, set up your profile professionally, which we looked at your account. Plan a solid content marketing and engagement strategy. All right, social media auditing and blah blah blah. All right. Um. So yes. So this is where we are, right? Building a target audience persona. I believe, right? Are you there, Tena?
I think we're first here.
Oh,
I
we
think we're
passed
first
it.
here, just the tiny.
Oh, okay. So
Yes, so this is where we stop.
okay,
Right
this is
here.
where we stop. All right. So how to build a target audience persona. And I said that the things you should define about your audience. Number one, the age, the sex, the interest, the pain points of your target audience. Because if you know the pain points of your target audience, it becomes easier for you to create content around their pain that is going to appeal to them and eventually turn them into people who love your brand, all right, and what you actually put out there. So let's say, for example, okay, you sell bags, and then maybe your customers or your target audience pain point may be under the bags they've been buying in the past. They always don't last, they are not long lasting, or one thing or the other. And then if you know that's the pain point, you're creating your content, and then hopefully your product which you're selling, if it's a physical product, is good enough and you know it lasts really well. So you might want to be creating content around the pain. You can maybe tell a story. If it's a video content, maybe tell a story of let's say a lady who um who has been complaining about her bags that she's been buying from this particular dealer or bag seller not lasting very long, and then the frustration. Maybe one day she went out to a restaurant with her bag, and then while she now saw a very handsome young man, and he approached her, and then they were talking while he was just about to get her phone number and stuff. Maybe the handbag it caught, maybe the handle of the bag caught or something, and then maybe the valuable stuff she had inside the bag fell off, and it was embarrassing. They had to bend down together to pick it up, and I don't know if you get the picture I'm trying to paint. Hello?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm following.
Alright. So and then they bend down together to pick it up, and
You ask a question.
you said?
No, I was asking if you asked a question because
Oh, okay. No, I was like, I hope you're following what I'm saying. So they bent down together to pick the bag or pick her stuff. It was like pretty embarrassing. So a friend of ours now recommended her, okay, to this particular seller who sells bags, really, really, really quality and would I say fashionable bags and all that. And she's like expressing concern that no, like the bags that she has been buying, that they've not really been lasting well. So she's a bit skeptical. Why should I trust this other person? You know, that's where testimonials can now come in. I'm trying to paint a story now for a social media content that could a video content that could actually go out, and then um, testimonials now come in of different people who have used this particular sellers or this particular brand's products, these bags, and then talking about their experience and all that. So it helps to mitigate the risk, and then it's a bit more compelling for her because you've addressed the pain points. Maybe somebody else now, one of the testimonies, somebody who has experienced exactly the same thing she has experienced, and now talks about it and how embarrassing it was. Somebody's trying to join. Okay. Oh. So, and how embarrassing it was for her, and so until she eventually found this particular dealer, and then the rest is history. So we are talking about building the pain point, building content based off your target audience pain point. So knowing these pain points now, it makes a lot of sense. It becomes easier for you to create content that would actually appeal to them. Do you understand?
Yes, that
Yeah.
makes sense.
Okay. So another thing you have to take note of is the location. Where are these people located? All right. If it's a physical, if you're looking at marketing a physical product and you're looking at proximity, people you can easily reach out to, you could, let's say you're based in Port Harcourt, so you're looking at reaching out to people within Port Harcourt and maybe other geopolitical zones that are closer to Port Harcourt, like for example, or other states within the same geopolitical zones, like Bayelsa, you're looking at Delta, maybe you can cover delivery, and I don't know how you would do it. So location is also a thing you need to also decide on when you building your target audience persona. The occupation, all right. So if you're looking at people to buy, let's say, luxury handbags, obviously you should be looking at the occupation. What kind of jobs should they be doing? Because it's not everybody that can afford luxury goods, all right? That's why it's luxury. It's not meant for everyone to afford. The beauty is when you have that extravagant money to spend extravagantly you get. So you need to be looking at, if you're a luxury brand, you're looking at the occupation. What are these target audience doing? All right. Then virtual communities or places they hang out online. I talked about that last time. Basically what virtual communities are is more like an online extension of a physical community, and I explained that communities basically um, is a group of people who are bound together by similar values, interests, culture, way of life, style of living, and all that. So it all forms a community. They believe in the same thing, they stand for the same thing. All right. And I said taking it to the virtual world now, I said somebody who speaks, okay, there's the Igbo speaking community, and the Igbo speaking community is everywhere. It's not just tied to a physical location like Abia State, Anambra, and all that. There are Igbos in Lagos, there are Igbos in Abuja, there are Igbos all over the world. They form the Igbo speaking community. Now they can form a virtual community of the physical community, all right? If there could be a Facebook group, there could be a Telegram group where you have Igbo speaking people there. They may not necessarily be indigenes of the Igbo land, but they know how to speak the language, so they are all part of the community. In the same vein, people who are interested in football, there is a community for that as well, regardless of whichever club they are. In fact, even amongst the clubs, you can have community for Barcelona fans, community for Arsenal fans, Chelsea, Liverpool, Manchester United. Me, I'm a Manchester United fan anyway. So if you go online on Facebook, there could be communities where you find these people, and that's what binds them together. So you want to be looking, when you're building your target audience persona, you also need to be looking at the virtual communities. Something I did recently, I created a fan page for Messi Chinwo on Facebook, and then I was like, okay, how do I grow this group? How do I grow this page? I've grown it to, it's almost 3K in just, I think, between the end of last month to this very moment I'm speaking with you. And the impression is like 42,000 impressions without running ads or anything. But how was I able to do that? I looked at it, Messi Chinwo is a celebrity. People know her. There is a community of people who know, like, and trust Messi Chinwo. So on Facebook, I looked for virtual communities. I looked for different groups where they post Messi Chinwo's content, and I joined a lot of them. I joined over 20 groups, Messi Chinwo fan groups. All right, and then what I was now doing, I created a content that was more like a pillar content. It was really detailed about Mercy Chinwo, a story about Mercy Chinwo, and then with several pictures, her throwback pictures when she was younger, when she didn't have the money, she didn't have the recognition, the fame, and then of when she was, she became popular, one Nigerian idol, down to when she got married and all that. So it was more like a complete story. So I shared it on those groups, all of them, and then the admins approved that post, and then it got a lot of traction. People were liking, commenting on it, and as they were commenting, they were following the page I created. Like I created this page from the scratch, from zero, right, without spending a dime on sponsor that, without taking a link from Facebook and posting it on WhatsApp. Hey guys, I created a Facebook page or whatever. I didn't do any of that. Even on Facebook, I didn't share it to anybody via DM. Okay, follow this page. I just basically grew the page with groups, just virtual communities alone. So you get the point I'm trying to make now. So once you have this your target audience persona in mind, you want to know the virtual communities where these people hang out a lot, and then create valuable content for them there. So when I saw that post did very well, I had a lot of buzz from it. I started creating more posts and sharing to those groups, and they always, majority, not all approve, but majority of the group admins approve the post. So as I keep making those posts there, they keep engaging, they keep following the page. The page is growing. Last I checked, it was 2.9k, but I can assure you before the end of the day, it will be 3k. So probably in our next class, I'm going to tell you that, okay, this page is now 3k, and all that organically. So you need to know the virtual communities where they hang out. Now look at the competitors they follow. It also helps when you're building your target audience persona, because the competitors already have, especially if they're established competitors, they already have this your target audience you're looking for there. You already have a community of your target audience. All right, so you want to look at the kind of content they post to engage this target audience, to keep them there. You want to look out for the loopholes, you want to look out for the gaps, the areas where you feel they're not doing so well, so that you can try to kind of build an extra value based off what you find from there. All right, so that being said, now I think I talked about this last time, but I'll just go through it again since we have some time here. So a target audience persona example for a graphic design instructor. I said, now this is the target. I'm now the graphic design instructor, for example, and my target audience now, I'm building a persona. I'm like, okay, his name is John. So meet John, who recently picked an interest in graphic design. He's 18 years old and a university student looking to find the best learning resource centers for newbie graphic designers online. He occasionally watches videos from Chris Do, and I said Chris Do is a professional, an internet sensation in the graphic design niche, right? So he spends an average of 2 hours per day on social media. So I know what he's looking for. He's looking for learning resources, for newbie graphic designers online, since he's a newbie graphic designer. So I'm going to position myself as an authority niche. I'm going to be putting out more content, educational content on graphic design that are really, really, really insightful, enlightening, entertaining, and catchy. All right, for me to be able to appeal to John. So now, I think the last part we talk is how to do a competitor analysis. So, yes, competitor analysis. Now, as a newbie brand online, doing a competitor analysis or research helps you to know existing trends in your industry, what your audience is currently craving, content ideas and marketing strategies you could use as reference points to build your own social media strategy. All right, and it also helps identify the gaps, which I've already said your competitors have, so you can fill it up with your brand. So in this session, we're looking at competitor research and analysis. And now, here are a few steps you need to consider when doing a competitor analysis on social media. Number one, you need to determine who your competitors are. All right, and it's easy to do that because, let's say, for example, you're on Instagram. You can just simply think of the hashtag. Let's say you're a graphic designer. All right, you just use the hashtag graphic designer and search, then check the posts that you're going to find on the hashtag, and then go through each of those posts and click on the posts themselves so you can find the account. In fact, I think I should make this practical. Don't you think so? Jen, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
So I think I should make it practical so you can see what I am doing part time. All right. So we're looking at doing a competitor analysis on social media. Okay. So Instagram is loading now. I just pray it doesn't take donkey years like it took for the slide to load. Alright. Alright, while it's loading, I'll just continue from where I stopped. You need to determine who your competitors are, determine what products your competitors offer, and you need to research as well, or research your competitors' sales tactics. Alright, what are the creative things they do to sell online? Alright, so those are things you also want to be looking at as well. My Instagram is still taking time to load. I don't know why. And I've switched the network, so it shouldn't be taking me this long. Alright. Let's see. Okay, I'll come to that. Okay, yes, and take a look at your competitor's pricing plan. Take a look at your competitor's pricing plan. How do they price their products? Do they create offers? Because it's one thing for you to have products, it's another thing for you to have offers. A product, for example, can be the iPhone. An offer is all the other orishi and all the extras that go with using the iPhone or iOS device. You can have your AirPods, like I have an AirPod. You can have your smart watch. All these stuff. They are offers, created around the whole iOS devices. Alright, so it's not just one thing you're looking at. Then even amongst the let's say even within the iPhone category, product category, you still have other offers. Alright, so out of the iPhone, you have iPhone XR, different models, iPhone XX, XS Max, 11, and all that. So those who can't afford XX Max or who can't afford 11, they can afford this. Now, what am I trying to drive at? In your when you're giving up products online, you want to look at creating offers, because the best brands that really succeed in business, especially online, are mastercrafts at creating offers. They know how to create compelling offers. All right, so offers give your target audience options. They give your target audience an option to have a taste of what your brand is like or what your brand has to offer. All right, then take note of your competition's content strategy. So what I'm going to be doing here now, I think I'll share my fear now is if I should try to share a different screen with you, if it will not take 500 hours for it to load. Alright, so I'm just going to share a tab on this. Just be updating me with what you can see from your end. Alright, okay, so what can you see?
For now, I can just see your look. I can see Instagram now.
Great. All right. So we're talking about doing a competitor analysis. Now, let's say you're a newbie brand and then you're a graphic designer, for example. All right. So you could just go to the search bar and then type graphic designer. All right, and then you hit the search. Oh, this is what I was scared of. It's loading. Okay, you can see that graphic designer has over 16 million posts on Instagram. It's crazy, right? And then you can also see the accounts as well. So now Instagram is not just showing us the hashtag where you can find the post, it's also suggesting accounts. And what does this say? Remember what we talked about in our Q&A? I told you that you need to make sure your profile is optimized for search, right? If your profile is not optimized for search, it's difficult for the people who need your brand or need your products or your services to find you. All right, so you can see now I just searched for graphic designer, and in the whole world, these are the accounts that Instagram is suggesting. And if you check well, it might not even be based on the number of followers they have, but you can see the first two accounts here, or not the first two, the second and the third account here, you can see they both have graphic designer, the graphic designer. In fact, as I'm scrolling there, you can see others. So what you can do is that you can click on these accounts. Let's just go with this, the media answer. All right, let's review her account and see what we can find here. All right, we can see she's not just a graphics designer, she's more like me, social media manager and graphic designer at the same time. All right, you can see her profile category is showing clearly. You can see her the keyword she wants to rank for. She wants to rank for social media manager and graphic designer. She does an introduction of herself, design content for brands. So she's basically telling you a value proposition, and then we'll teach you how to design sellable content using Canva. So she's giving you, like, you're seeing two different things here now. She's showing you that she can do this stuff, and she doesn't just do it for a living. She can also teach how to do it. So if you look here now, from this now, what do you think about this particular brand? What can you observe? What do you think is her her target audience now? Who do you think is her target audience? You can unmute your mic.
I think she has two sets of target audience.
Sweet.
The people who need her service,
Great.
who need stuff to be designed, and also the people who want to learn how to design like her.
Sweet, great. So you now see that that's what I was just waiting to hear. That's what I was waiting to hear, and it's nice. I can see our graphic design team lead is even following her, the IB Douglas. All right, so you can see she has two different target audiences. Now, what does this say now? That's why it's good to know how to build your target audience persona, because depending on your brand and what you have to offer, you may need to appeal to two different audiences. All right, but you need to try as much as possible to make sure that your audiences are not too the gap between them is not so wide. They may not be exactly, but similar kind of audiences. All right, so two things here, two different audiences, but there's one common denominator or one common factor that links them together. They share one value. You know what that value is?
Graphic design.
He said
Graphic design.
graphics design. All right, not just graphics design. They both share a common value, which is appreciation of good design. All right, appreciation of good design. Because I mean, think about it. So what will a brand be looking out for? Why would they be looking out for her and not somebody else? All right, why can't they just do it on their own? Why do they have to sift through different designers to pick the one that will suit them best? It's because they appreciate good design. They know there are thousands of designers, millions of designers out there, but they are looking for one designer out of the so many, or maybe two or three. All right, so but before they can select, they need to be sure that this person is what they pick. All right, so they appreciate good design. And now the second category, people who want to learn how to design. Obviously, they appreciate good designs as well, and they want to create designs that are as stunning as the design she's creating. All right, so there's a common linking factor between these audiences, so you should know how to put that in your target audience persona. All right, so let's just do an auditing of her page, because she's clearly our competitor now as a graphic designer. So you can see the services, reviews, courses, posts, tips, quotes, facts, suite. So her page is like really optimized for search. That's why we were even able to discover her for the first place. I never knew somebody like this existed until I found her. All right. So you can see all this here, and these highlights give make it easy for you to have a feel of her brand without even having to go through her content. So you can see her services there. You can check reviews from people she has worked with in the past. You can check the courses that she has to offer. In fact, I think let's just click on it. Let's click on services. I pray it doesn't take 5,000 years to open. All right. Okay. So this is what we see in services. She has a flyer here, which she obviously designed herself. I offer social media management, content creation, and all that. Can you see it? Then are you there?
I forgot my mic was muted. I can see it.
All right. So we can see reviews. Oh, she makes really stunning designs. You can see reviews that are there as well. So amongst other things she does. All right. So that's for the highlights. So let me just leave this highlights area and go back to her page. So we've taken note of what's on her bio. So if we are going to create a bio for ourselves, I'm not saying we have to use exactly what she's doing, but we obviously can take out one thing. She optimized her account for search. So what does that mean? We have to look at our profile category. So what category are we using? She used entrepreneur as has. Do we also use entrepreneur as well if we're creating our own on Instagram? Now she used graphic designer, SM manager. So we can use graphic designer because she put it on her name tag, on her name field. So we need to put it on our name field. So if we want to also be easily found, like she's easily found as well. Then you can see she has a clear call to action. All right. You know what call to actions are?
I think I have an idea, but you can explain.
Call to actions basically is just telling them what to do, because most people on social media will not do, in fact they may not know what to do unless you tell them what to do. All right, so it's basically telling them what to do. So here you can see she has told you, I design content for brands. I'll teach you how to sell sellable content using Canva. And then in with Canva masterclass, she gives you a link in the description. Even the emoji, you can see it. She also communicates through emojis. You can see she's very direct. Main stack. She's giving you a link to join the Canva masterclass. All right. So obviously, if we're looking at that, if we're building our own, we also need to be looking at maybe giving a clear call to action. All right. Call to action, maybe if you want, if you're cross promoting your social media platform, you can be like maybe a YouTuber on Instagram. Now you can put there, subscribe to my YouTube channel, link in the description, in the website section. Right. So next thing, you have to go through the content of the competitor. Look at the kind of content she's making. The biggest mistakes you are making in Canva. You can see that how I manage my work time as a freelance creative, Canva shortcuts for PC, iOS 16 features Canva users will definitely appreciate. So you can see she makes a lot of Canva posts. All right, so Canva is one tool that she uses really, really well. So having known that, if we also know how to design with Canva, and maybe the kind of content that we're going to be putting out is Canva related, we have to be looking at. So it's one thing for you to know something, it's one thing for you to be able to create numerous content ideas around that one thing that you know. All right, so let's say, for example, you're a graphic designer. Aside just talking about designing, what other things can you talk about? Aside just teaching them how to use the software, for example, how to use the products, how to use Canva, what other things can you teach them as a graphic designer? All right, so you maybe want to be looking at the business aspect of it. It's not just designing. How do you leverage this? How do you make money? What are the business nuggets you need to know? Okay, we can talk about motivation for designers. All right, you can talk about the challenges designers face. You know, all these things are just ideas around which you can spice up your content strategy. So you can see now, I think she uses this too. You can see that her content is not just, she's not just teaching you, she's not just posting educational content, she's also posting motivational content as well. All right, and then also enlightening content, I think also entertaining content, but we'll find out. Yeah, you can see this one now, soft skills I believe every creative needs. Now this has 156 likes and 19 comments, and because of time I may not go through that, but you can see she's not just talking about Canva here, but also other soft skills that you need as a creative, right? As a graphic designer, you are likely to be sued if you see. So she's giving you, as aside just using the software, but other related things that, or nuggets that you need to know, or principles basically that you need to know to succeed as a designer. All right, this one is 5 red flags for design clients. All right, so it's also something you need to look at. And I believe she also has some entertainment content here. Then why are your services so expensive? Is it not just to post? All right, I think this is social media related content. I don't know if we'll have the time to watch this. All right, we may not have the time to watch this, so, but that's by the way. So you understand what we are doing here, right? We are doing a competitor analysis. Do you get? Can you unmute your mic, Tenor?
Yes, I get.
Yeah, all right. So that is for that. So let me just share a slide one more time. Just I don't want this class to linger. We just have to stay within the confines of the time we've already set so that we don't bore you out. All right, back to the about sharing this slide again. All right, so you've seen that we've looked at, from just that account, we've determined who our competitor is. We've looked at the products that she offers. She offers digital products, which is teaching people how to use Canva through master classes, courses that she's created. All those are still products, so we've already determined that. Our sales tactics, we are not able to look at that. Our pricing, we're not able to look at that because of time, but these are areas that you can actually look at. All right, next thing is to analyze the level of engagement on your competitors' content. Okay, so how are people responding to the content, and what are the contents they are responding to most? What kind of contents do they comment on most? What kind of contents have more likes? What kind of contents have more shares? So these are things you need to be looking at, so you can know that, okay, if your competitor has this, because there's what we call trend jacking. All right, you must not necessarily create a trend, but you can take an existing trend and hijack it as if it's your own trend. In the same way you have trend jacking, you can have successful content jacking. So you see that, okay, this particular content did so well for this competitor. You may not copy and paste exactly, but you can create a content that is similar to that content that is already doing so well for that competitor to attract the audience. Do you understand? So that's a strategy you can adopt from just analyzing the level of engagement they have. All right, then observe how they promote marketing content. All right, do they just say buy this, buy this, buy this? Or if you look at Pokoli, in fact, I think I may be tempted to do that. Let me just show you. Do you know Pokoli? Hello?
Yes, he's a dancer, right?
Yes, a famous dancer.
So he's a dancer, right?
Yes. Do you see how he promotes his content? Pokoli is one very...
No, I don't follow him.
Okay, I'm going to show you. I follow him actually. Pokoli is one very, aside being a dancer, he's a very intentional social media strategist. He's very intentional. All right, so I'm just going to show you. Let me just share my screen. Are you enjoying the class so far while I'm sharing the screen?
Yes.
All right. So we're going to Pokoli, and here we are at Pokoli. Now, if you check, there's this particular song that he did with somebody. So he has been promoting it. If you look very well, yeah, you can see on your screen. Look at the song that is under his username. What do you see there? Where my mouse is highlighting. What do you see?
Hotkey, Pokoli, Otilo.
Good, Oslo. It's a song that they just did.
Otilo.
Yes, so this is a content. He's now doing what they call user-generated content. Content that are created by other users. And he's using it to promote his song, alright? Okay, this one doesn't have it. Let's check for another content. Let's look for this one. You're going to see that he uses it a lot on his page. Scroll down. Where is that stuff? See, this one too has it. Hotkey, Pokoli, Otilo, and this is a very, very funny video. So if you play it, you're going to see the song playing. So everything he's creating, he's not just telling people. If you notice his caption, he's not necessarily telling people download Otilo or whatever. Do you get? But he's just creatively promoting the song. Alright? So that's what he is doing with that. So yes. So yes, observe how they promote their marketing content. Look at the social media presence. Their social media presence. What's their numbers like? Yeah, because social media can be a numbers game too, you know. How many followers, how many likes are they getting? Then perform a SWOT analysis. I've showed you how to do a SWOT analysis now. You're looking at the strengths, the weaknesses, opportunities, and threats, and then taking it from there. So I think this will be all for our class today. Now, next class, we're going to be looking at understanding social media algorithms. And that's a very interesting topic because if you understand the algorithms very well, you will know how to play around or how to bypass certain things on social media, how to create and boost your engagement even when the algorithm is messing up. All right. So that will be all for today. So do you have a question?
Yeah.
Do you have a question from the class so far?
That's what you just mentioned. I actually don't know what it means.
Oh, okay. SWOT simply means strength, weakness, opportunities, and threats. Right? That's the meaning of SWOT. SWOT means strength, weakness, opportunities, and threats. So what you're going to be looking at, and what are your competitors' strengths? All right, what's the strength like? Is their strength in their followership? Do they have more followers than you? Is the strength in let's say their engagement? Do they have more engagement than you? Is the strength in, let's say, the kind of content they have? Do they put out more content than you? And if they are putting out more content than you, that means there is a strategy behind the content. It may be that, okay, they may have more manpower. They could have maybe 2 or 3 social media managers. They could have a team that is dedicated to just creating designs alone. And let's say you're just a one-man band. You obviously cannot compete with them on that ground because they have the advantage. Do you understand that?
Yeah.
All right. So then the weaknesses,
Yes.
what are the loopholes? What are the areas you've been noticing that they've been lagging behind on? All right. You need to take account of that so you know how you can maximize their weaknesses and then turn their weaknesses into your strengths or add it to your own strategy. You need to look at the opportunities. So if you know their weaknesses, obviously you should know the opportunities. Okay, this is a loophole from my competitor. That means this is an opportunity for me to catch in and then to harvest or get steal some of their, you know, their followers or their audience, or to get your target audience. So if you know their weaknesses, you obviously have an opportunity to be the brand that fills that weakness. Then look at the threats. So what are the things that are threatening? All right, threats to them as well. So all these things are things that once you know them, it becomes easy for you to build your social media strategy around. All right, because you know all this still falls under building your social media strategy. We've looked at your target audience. We've looked at your establishing goals, still falls under social media strategy. That's the point of all this stuff. We've looked at your audience persona, still falls under the social media strategy, and now we're looking at competitor analysis, still falls under the social media strategy, because you cannot build a successful social media strategy if you don't have at your beck and call this vital information and knowledge. All right, so have I answered your question?
Yes, thanks.
So I believe you're satisfied. On a scale of 1 to 10, how satisfied are you with today's class?
9.5.
9.5. Okay. 9.5 is good, is good. So I'll take that as a compliment. So what you're just going to do, basically, you're going to go back, and what you do is you're going to be researching your competitors. All right. So you can make a list of your competitors, and then go on Instagram and research them, and then from there you can flow. All right. So in our next class, I'm going to ask you questions, what you found out, and then we'll take it up from there before we start the class on the algorithms. All right. So please ensure to be here on time tomorrow. If I'm not the one handling the class, my colleague will be handling the class, but there will be a class tomorrow. All right. So thank you very much for attending to this class, Tena.
Thank you.
Yeah. You can now exit. Have a nice day. Why could they put it now? I would just the top of us. You ain't enter, let me push him.
On God, from this angle. What sort of freaking wide camera view is that?
Which can you human being be this? Eh? Just come put your head